the one that can save me. You're the one that can save me. That same feeling inside you. I wanna know why you try to stick to me like glue. Just when I think I can manage, you pull me back like a magnet. Weren't you under the impression that I would never learn my lesson? Are you scared of telling me the truth when you say I love you? Do you mean it too? Make up your mind, tell me if you wanna leave, or are you just using me 'cause you're used to me?
And with the end of this musical masterpiece from Kev Coco with Spandau Interlude, I am very happy to finally welcome you back and introduce you to our 24-hour race at Le Mans. My name is Flipsy, and one hell of a time has gone past since I've streamed the last time. My PC broke back in February. I was always keen to try and come back as fast as possible, and nearly 5 months later I'm able to do so. And honestly guys, this is going to be one of the best events we've ever had, because we have 29 cars on track. We have 2 lobbies working at the same time, which means we have a 29 car grid. The fastest cars from each class, since we have the hypercar class and the LMGT3 class, are going to change mid-race, which means the fastest cars are in lobby A and all the rest are in lobby B from each class. Either way, welcome to the stream, welcome to the race. I hope that everyone has had a good day so far. Maybe some of you have just woken up, maybe some of you are already awake since a couple of hours. I am very hyped to lead you through the first stint, and as you can already see in the background, there is a lot going on. I'm just checking all the Augur stuff. The background of everything is alright, I should say. Because I do hope it is. I also hope that the alerts are working, because they should. If they don't, that would be pretty much of a shame. Maybe let's try this.
Did you hydrate during the race? You must have some sweaty hands as well, so don't forget to sanitize.
It has been shown. I heard something, I think you heard something too. Let me test another thing.
It is amazing!
This one has worked as well. So I think it should work. Guys, what should I say? Race is going to start in less than 4 minutes. Okay, the first alert has been played, but it hasn't been shown. Eddie Power subscribed with Prime. Thank you very much for that. Can anybody answer me why the alerts are not working? Wait, that's the first thing I have to fix. Ah, man. Maybe I can fix it in the meantime. working.
It is amazing!
Should. Because it shows me that it should work. Seems like that any other lobby. Some drivers are missing, which is not great at all. So it's 2 p.m. I think we can start, which I will. Good luck to everyone. I hope that it's going to be a great and fair race. Say hello. Let's have a clean and good race. Most importantly. Go with that. For those who maybe already are in the stream, there is a pinned message. If you click on both links, they will both lead you to our livery contest. You will go to the first link, that's the hypercar section, and you will go to the second link, which is the LMGT3 section, where you can decide which livery you like the most. You can vote up to 4 liveries for each class. You can decide which livery you like the most, and in the end, the one with the most liveries will win, of course. Alright, it is set, race on the way. Let me pull that in as well. Have a good race. And off we freaking go. I am really hyped for this one. I also hope that my capture card is going to work without any issues. Yeah, they are starting. We are starting now as well. Let me just quickly turn off the most important thing we don't want to see. We'll also turn down the volume a little bit so it matches everyone's ears. And away we go! First start is now underway. Hypercars are leading the field. Enter for Scuderia Vedo Velocita. Eddie for Team DLL. Puebla for Team Capital. Heldman for Gran Turismo Finland Racers. Wooly for WSR Esports. File for RRC. Joe of the Fire is racing for Capital as well. And then we have the GT class Stick for Team DLL. Alan Birch, who's already overtaken the Spider GT Lexus from Kyle. Gammeltoast in the WSR Porsche, WSR Kev in the WSR Lambo, Sonic Marathon for Nova Esports, Graham for Spider GT as well, and Welsh Great for VNT Pantera. Ah, that was the wrong one. Maybe let's turn that off. But there we go. Already a battle for P14. Welsh passes the BMW. Go ahead and see where the action is happening. That's quite a good call from you. Might turn this off during the race. In case if there's anyone interested in joining me in commentary, I can always invite you via Discord so you can have the live onboard view as I have. And Eddie seems like has lost one position already to Exercity. This Indianapolis corner is such a tricky spot on this track. Exercity already having a little bit of issue. By the way, I hope that the sound is working for everyone, that it's not too loud. There are no cuts, that the camera quality is good as well. In case there is anything you miss out on, just let me know. Joe of the Fire already overtakes Vulcan. So, first capital car now in P6, while Vulcan is in P7. The GT class still leads. Alan Birch is right behind him. Gammeltoast in P10, which is P3 in a GT class. Kyle dropped down from 2 to P4. Yeah, I will do in a second, Pekka. I will do in a second. Below has got a time penalty. Slim as well, and I don't know if he has been spun there. Thankfully, he has been reset on track, so he doesn't have to go back there. Joe of the Fire with a mistake as well. It seems we can look into it after. Vulcan now in P5 again. Below still with a half a second penalty, and Eddie is losing a little bit of time to Exercity, who is closing in on Ento. Sonic Marathon able to overtake Kyle on the way into the first Mulsanne chicane. Solid maneuver. Alan Birch closing in on Stick a little bit, but he's able to pull away in the slipstream, but now Alan Birch is closing in. And Gammeltoast is right behind them. Well, he has got a penalty as well. Welcome to hear the beautiful commentary by DLL Mejizna. That's good to hear from you, Tomsoft. Welcome to the stream. Let's have a quick look, and there we can see Callum Burge now being attacked by Gammeltos in a WSR Porsche. He was in a slipstream. It was looking good for him to maybe try and overtake, but once he was out of the slipstream, even having the slipstream from Stig as well, Callum is able to defend this position. Stig now under a lot of pressure. In the back we see a fight for P4 as well. Sonic Marathon leading, Kyle right behind them, which Gray just overtook Kev, it seems. Graham is losing the most. But look at these cars, they are working so closely together. That's brilliant racing right there. Oh, Kev with a little oversteer moment coming out of the Porsche curves. But it went well, it seems. And the good thing for Stig now is that Callum and Gammeltost are fighting, that he could pull away and come out of the slipstream line, so that Callum Burge cannot defend himself on the straights. Gammeltost should be able to be more aggressive in case an attack is coming. Meanwhile, Slim still in P7, Joe in P6, Vulcan in P5, Distinct Philo in P4. Right ahead of him is Eddie in P3, Exercity, who has got a half a second penalty now in P2, and he is catching in on Ento. Stig has lost a bit once again. And Gammeltost now overtakes Callum Burge for the time being. And he goes past. So the WSR Porsche now is in P2. Let me try something, because it seems like I could risk it. What happened here? It seems like Slim wanted to close the line too late, and Joe in the end just touched his rear for 1 second, and that was already enough to send Slim spinning. Wanted to let him by again, but there was nothing else Joe could do. Maybe this will be something for the stewards to investigate, but for now, let's just hope that they all can continue racing. I have to turn this off again. Below has a penalty. Slim now has a penalty as well. Here you can see that Gammeltoast is closing in on Stick. Meanwhile, Sonic Marathon, Welsh Great and Kev are battling each other as well, with Graham being in P14, and Kyle had some sort of a mistake, it seems. Or he has got damage. This could be the case as well. Yeah, it looks like it, since he's correcting steering multiple times on the straights. That's not good for Spider GT. In case there is damage, we will see. Ento still leading. Versity trying to push to somehow stay with Ento. But these two are really smashing the laps out here. And Versity got a penalty for the exit out of the chicane, and Eddie goes into the pits. Did he got any damage? But it seems like maybe he has got damage in the Porsche curves or somewhere else. Now he's going to refuel. It looked like he has damage. Stick has a time penalty, which means that Gammeltost will go past him, and Callum Birch should pass him as well. And that's really unfortunate for DLL for now. But Gammeltost leads the race in the GT class. Callum Birch is 9P2 and Stick is 9P3. Welch for VNT Panther Racing in a Corvette in P4, Sonic Marathon for Nova Esports in P12. Kevis 13th overall for now in this class. Graham 14th and Kyle, as we have seen, in P15. Ento has got himself a time penalty. Xerzity has as well, so time penalties are very loose this time. Vulcan is now closing in on Philo. Joe of the Fire is trying to close in as well. And Slim is fighting back. think you now can see that most of the cars actually have different setup choice. Philo had a pretty good run through the Porsche curves, but Vulcan was able to close in during the slipstream, which gives me an indicator for the fact that the WSR Porsche, as I say, the WSR hypercar should work better through the cornering sections, as he's losing, now even gaining on the straight. Maybe they're running the same aerodynamics, maybe they're running different gearboxes, but as we can see, where they gain or lose time is more or less different to what they could do. Joe, that was very close to maybe getting a penalty, but it seems like he's been lucky. No penalty for Joe. And he has to fight himself back. We currently have a battle for P1 in the GT class with Callum Hamilton's leading, Callum Birch in P2, and Stick, who's got half a second penalty in P3. I just noted that I missed something very important for all of you guys. I will fix it in a second. There we go. Timer's back. Now you can see how much time we still have got in the stint. And by the way, it looks like the first lappings are going to happen anytime soon. I just hope that everything goes well there. Hamiltoast has been passed by Callum Birch, but Callum Birch has got a 1.5 second penalty, so this could give Stick the chance to retake this position as well. Stick is driving a little bit of rally in the background. So Callum Birch is now serving his penalty. He should have gone off the racing line, but Hamiltoast and Stick are managing this pretty well. There's Ento closing in now on the three GT3 cars. I just hope that Ento will be patient. That's very frustrating for him now because he is losing a lot of time. There was contact and Callum Birch has been sent into the walls, but it looks like he was able to stay out of the wall, not hitting it. Oh. I hope Ento knows for the next time that he shouldn't push his way through. I'm kind of disappointed that the alerts are not working, because they're not even shown at all. As if you see, they should work indeed. As I hope they are shown for you as well. In case it's not, that shouldn't be the case. Ace Racer. Yeah, it's pretty much the same every time. I hope that most maybe will get penalties if they don't lap cautious and fairly. Otherwise, these things are never going to be fixed. Stick is now closing in on Hamiltoast again. What happened to Eddie? It looked like he got damaged somewhere. That's why he had to pit in lap 3 was in the pit, I think, or even lap 4. Let me just quickly go through the grid and see if there are any battles happening. They are. Vulcan has passed Joe of the Fire, but Joe has got a... Oh, Vulcan has got a 1.5 second penalty. So, Hamiltoast at the back could also face an upcoming attack from Stig, it seems. Callum Birch now is trying his best to somehow close in.
This is what you get with this fucking shit show, honestly.
I know. But I know that's something I could do. So it looks like the Lamborghini is best on fuel saving. For now, I would like to know... Yeah, Lexus seems to be the best overall, but the Lambo is pretty good on fuel saving as well. Camel Toast goes off the line, serves his penalty, and Stick goes past him again. DLL BMW M6 is now in the lead again. Joe has set the fastest lap in this race so far, a 3:19.941. That's a very fast lap time for race pace. Ento is now in the pits. If we look at all of them, we see that some of them already have started saving the battery. Eddie is doing pretty well, Ento isn't. Slim is doing the best. Vulcan is pretty okay, Joe is pretty okay as well, Philo is doing pretty well, and Cersity has lost a little bit as well. And Philo is now closing in on Cersity. Because I think, when I was talking about battery-wise, the battery is going to be one of the main keys around this track and around for this race. Meanwhile, Johnny says that P1 spun in lobby 2. Well, that's also a very important aspect if the first 7 hypercars are going to be overtaken through the other cars from the second lobby. Don is leading. So that means that Rosé has spun, right? be Wiesel as well, but I'm not sure. Rosaya spun. Aye. That's not good for the Happy Tree Racing team. Heck damage. Ah, great. Great stuff. Joe of the Fire's closing in now as well. So, Capital is closing in. Stay together. He has got a time penalty. And Stick was in the pits. Oh, Slim with heavy oversteer. In the end of sector 1. Vulcan is in the pits as well for now. And Ento overtakes him. In case some of you are interested in seeing something special,
Rein die Corvette. Ice Tigers wird sich auch in die Box begeben. Die Corvette hat jetzt nicht mehr für 20 Meter weitergereicht, so schaut's aus.
as you can see, the lobbies are pretty even.
Auch in die Box, Sascha auch und Sampa war schon.
Both the hypercars in the lobby 1 should be faster around there.
Jetzt hier Platz 8, Platz 9. Also, wir sind in der Boxenstopp-Phase angelangt. Jetzt bin ich mal gespannt, wie der BMW jetzt vorbeiziehen wird an den Fahrern, die jetzt in der Box sind. Oh, das war aber auch schon, die Corvette ist komplett leer. Also, da hat man aber auch Glück gehabt, dass man nicht nur langsamer gefahren ist. Hey Dave, was geht ab? Ah, okay, ich schreibe im Chat, okay.
It would be important now to see if in lobby 1, on split 1 should I say, if Stick is going to retake the lead of Dumbledores, but it looks like Stick will go past as he does. Around about 2 or even 3 seconds, Stick retakes the lead. Should I say that the Lambo of Callum Birch now is leading for now, as well as Kyle is in P2. He had some mistakes though, but has to serve his pit stop. Meanwhile, Versace and Joe of the Fire in the pits as well.
Klar, natürlich nicht zu viel, aber ihr macht voll.
Wenn man auf 0 ist.
Also ihr macht voll, zieht vorbei, der Porsche hat vor euch aber nicht so voll gemacht und ist dadurch ein bisschen vorne.
Da kommt doch direkt der Erste, der nochmal überrundet.
Aber der Erstplatzierte geht nicht in die Box.
Nochmal überrundet zu fahren.
Jetzt weiß ich gar nicht, wie ich das jetzt hier mir nochmal anschauen kann mit dem Sprit, wie ist das? Großes Lob an euch weiter so. Oh, danke. Also da bin ich ja zufrieden mit erstes 24-Stunden-Rennen, was ich streame. Ich glaube für dich ja auch.
Ja,
Also dann bin ich zufrieden, wenn das alles so passt und euch gefällt. Und ja, ihr könnt natürlich auch
Until
gerne
now it's
Wünsche
closing in on last
raushauen, könnt
chicanes.
Fragen stellen, alles was ihr wollt. Und da passt.
It looks like he's going to retake the lead.
Also bei Kaisi war es ein bisschen pixelig und bei dir, bei anderen...
Bilo and Slim haven't been in the pits for
Kann
now.
natürlich sein, dass es ein bisschen anders ist, aber ich hoffe, ihr seht eigentlich alles. Also weil ich habe ja meinen Stream auch auf dem Handy laufen, also bei mir sieht es eigentlich gar nicht so schlecht aus. Gut, also ESP Clemson in der Box. War der nicht eben schon in der Box? Nee. Oder doch? Der hat doch eben... Nee, der war nicht, nee. Auch nur 50% tankt der auf.
aber das wird eng bei der Boxenausfahrung Kurve 1 mit Zinn.
Da kommt er direkt schon mit Überschuss. Ja, es reicht aber. Aber es wird nachher, werden wir das Duell auf die langen Geraden sehen. Aber 50%, das würde mich jetzt mal interessieren, warum 50% ausgerechnet? Tja, mal abwarten. Oh, da gab es den leicht Geschlenkel.
Hat ja auch nicht
As you can see, Joe has underfueled a little bit,
werden sich das schon ausgehen.
so he goes past Felicity, his capital teammate.
Ja.
Vulcan a
Ja,
little
das
bit
stimmt wohl. Ich bin auf dem Maximum schon. Das ist leider so.
closer behind them.
Also, gehen wir in die Onboard. Mal schauen, ob
I want to apologize to everyone that the alerts are not working for some reason. Alan is in the pits now as well. I hope that I could fix it later on before the 7th Stint.
Man Clemson auch mal kurz loben muss. Das ist ja auch eine Sache, die für den LMH besonders ist.
Oi, oi, oi.
Schau dir den Hybrid an. Der lädt ja gar nicht nach bei den...
Why doesn't we go to our race? To refocus again. I can show you later on what happens in the other lobby. Callum is refueling to the maximum, it looks like. Strategic wise, I must say that we can already see different procedures with Stick and Gammeltoast fueling less than others. Ever's got a time penalty, which opens the possibility to Welch Grade to go past, so VNT Poncho Racing they go past. Ole, willkommen, willkommen. Freut mich, dass du da bist. Ich habe deine Discord-Nachricht vorhin gesehen. Denke mal, dass du heute Abend frei hast. Welch is downshifting with a button on his wheel. That's interesting. Jo, mach ich. Aber ich glaube nicht. Ich glaube, wir sind versorgt. Aber ich denke, in Zukunft sollte es dann doch die eine oder andere Möglichkeit geben, wo man dann trotzdem Stints abgeben kann, beziehungsweise die man dann auch streamen könnte. Let me say this in English, because I think that's the most tolerant and possible way to announce this. The next event that's going to happen is on the 10th of August, and it's going to be a Group 4 race at Cuba. 9 hours duration. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Enter now, waiting behind the WSR Porsche to go past, as he does now. Next up on the list to lap is going to be Stick into the Porsche corners, and we've seen the Enter might be impatient, but it works pretty well. Stick plays the game, lets him through on the inside, and that worked perfectly for Ento. Joe now closing in with Sonic Marathon in the Porsche corners as well. On the outside, Joe does it pretty well. Great job by Joe. Tersity now closing in as well into the first of the two chicanes at the end of the lap. Vulcan now behind them as well. Alex Slim now waiting for the possibility to lap these cars. That is costing him a lot of time, but it's very good to see that he's patient, he waits and makes his way past them. Sonic Marathon having a really good pace in the Lexus. Closing in on Gammeltoast, and Gammeltoast has got a 1 second penalty. Meanwhile, Stick has got 4.2 seconds to the WSR Porsche. The only battle I would say we currently have on track is Kev against Welsh Great. It's WSR Lambo against the VNT Pantera Racing Corvette. Kev has nearly brought us the commentator's curse. A lot of oversteer in the first sector, but managed it pretty well, and he is able to stay in the slipstream. So very, very good management. Car control. By the way, is there anyone interested? Maybe joining in co-commentary. I'm not saying that I'm bored, but I'm offering you the possibility that you could join into the Discord voice channel, so I could stream you race on there as well. And then you could maybe take a look at what is happening here as well. Maybe I could change something. Hold on a second. Ah! This should be better, I think. A little more in the middle. Ah, come on. Yeah, I think that's better. The race time now is at the bottom left. By the way, what happened to Philo? That's a good question. Was he in... It doesn't really look like anything happened. I just think that it fueled up the car completely compared to the others. And that's why he now is in P6. I think he might go for a 20 to 23 lap stint. As a G-Pack doing. DLL M6 driven by Stig is leading. Sonic Marathon overtook Gammeltoast. That's something I missed completely, but looks like Gammeltoast had a mistake, considering the lap times he and Sonic Marathon have driven. So Nova now, very surprisingly, in P2 of the GT class. Callum Birch is 11th in this lobby, 4th in the GT class. He fueled up completely as well. That explains why he's got 20.5 seconds to Gammeltoast. Welch Great is in P5, Kevin P6, Kyle in P7, and Graham in P8, if I have not miscalculated it. Yeah, it should be the way. Ento update. Leading 8 seconds to Joe for Fire. Are very close to each other. One lap, Joe has got a better lap, the other lap is has Ento. But it looks like Joe could be closing in. Cassidy in P3, Vulcan in P4, Eddie, after his incident in lap 5, now 5th. Philo and Slim are in P6 and 7. The interesting thing is that Sonic Marathon is actually closing in on Stick. Glaube ich nicht, Johnny. Weil ich meine, Sonic Marathon war einer der ersten, der in der Box war. Er war ja schon in Runde 7 drin, wenn du auf die Rundenzeiten guckst. Während Gammeltoast in Runde 9 drin war, Stick war in Runde 8 drin. Callum war in Runde 10 drin, hat voll getankt. Welch war in Runde 9 drin, der jetzt wieder von Kev angegriffen wird. Aber die beiden haben sich definitiv lieb. Aber... Kev spart. Kev spart. Also wenn Alan Birch einen Stop weniger macht, spricht nichts dagegen. Das einzige Problem, was ich sehe, ist die Rundenzeit und das, was er in der Box verliert. Du siehst ja hier, Rundenzeiten sind bei 57, 55, 56. Gammeltoast und Stick sind eher bei 54, 53, 55. Und die... Schau mal ganz kurz bei Gammeltoast und Sonic zu, die kämpfen gerade ganz schön hart um Platz 2. Aber Gammeltoast will nicht vorbei. Er lässt den Lexus da erstmal fahren. Toast wartet. Der will da nicht vorbei. Ich glaube, die wollen auf Stick erstmal aufschließen und dann eventuell was ausprobieren. Hier ist es mit Eddie. Eddie ist auf Platz 5 und wird von Philo angegriffen. Oh, sieht es auch so aus, dass Eddie einen Fehler nur eine 17 hatte. Ich glaube, die 10 Sekunden kommen nicht von irgendwo. Und Philo geht auch vorbei. So, Eddie noch auf Findungsphase. Ja, ich weiß auch nicht, was mit Eddie los ist. Aber Eddie versucht, glaube ich, zu sparen. Es funktioniert aber nicht so ganz. Sonic Marathon has got a 1.5 second penalty. Adam Birch has got a 0.5 second penalty as well. But he is improving in his lap times at 3:55.018. Welch great, also has got a 0.5 second penalty. This opens the door for Kev to go past him. Kyle, 0.5 second penalty as well, nearly 10 seconds behind Kev. And Graham, the Spider GT BMW in P8 in the GT class in this lobby. Nearly 15 seconds to Kyle. Ento is still leading. But his battery is nearly empty. Same goes for Joe, same goes for Xerxes, same goes for Vulcan. Philo still has got a little bit of battery left. Eddie has got a little bit of battery left as well. Slim is doing better battery-wise. And Camel Toast goes past Sonic Marathon again, who has had a penalty. Adam Birch gained himself another 0.5 second penalty, so he will have to serve this one as well. And there we see Kev finally going past. Which great. But I think we will see these two for a longer time together. 1 hour is already over in the first stint. Another round of lapping is happening. Intro has got himself a half a second penalty. And Joe is closing in. Hamilton is really improving in pace. The BMW is probably the worst car if it comes to fuel management. Oh, Kyle, interesting line through the first Mulsanne chicane.
jetzt kommt der Shoutout nochmal Flipsy. Da könnt ihr auf jeden Fall auch noch ein paar Stints sehen. Der streamt natürlich auch Stint 1 und so. Das lohnt sich auf jeden Fall. Lasst auch mal gerne ein Follow da. Genauso wie oben bei Molle. Es lohnt sich. Und ja, das lohnt sich. Ja. Ich hoffe jetzt, dass ich auf den richtigen Kanal gemacht habe. Oder ich habe jetzt den falschen Kanal gemacht und es sollte eigentlich DS sein. Aber naja, egal. So, wie gesagt, ihr habt leider eine Strafe. Ich bin mal gespannt, wie du nachher fahren wirst. Werde ich mir auf jeden Fall mal anschauen. Aber erstmal freue ich mich dann nachher noch auf ein schönes Abendessen und noch eine kurze Sprechpause. Ja.
Das Kaltgetränk.
Ja, man darf ja jetzt nicht das sagen, bevor man vor Twitch gebannt wird, aber da wird schon auf jeden Fall ein schönes Kaltgetränk sein, was man ab die Uhrzeit mal auch trinken darf. Hier, Überrundung, ich wollte mal hier im Next Goal. Also, man muss wirklich sagen, die Gaps sind sehr groß. Wir müssen jetzt mal abwarten, wie die Boxenstopps sein werden. Oh, über 1 Minute jetzt schon Vorsprung der Lampo im Gegensatz zu Platz 8. Also, da schauen wir auf jeden Fall mal. Aber man muss wirklich sagen, es ist jetzt momentan recht entspannt. Also, ihr dürft... Digital Entrance Serie. Ja, da werden wir nämlich jetzt mal schauen, dass ich da auch noch einen Shootout hinbekomme.
As you've seen in the other lobby, a lot is happening as well. We are nearly halfway through the stint, and I must say that a lot is going on. Very, very much is going on. A little bit frustrating that I cannot really sell you the racing that is currently happening at the best, because most of the guys are driving their race. I've got their gaps, and especially for the hypercars now, it's going to be interesting how they manage their battery and race pace. Since you see Enter now is in P1, has got 5.5 seconds to Joe. Now it's to a little bit lower than 5 seconds, so the battery has helped him a lot. But Exercity behind him is closing in as well. Battery now is going to be most important part in the hypercar class. Vulcan has lost a lot of time compared to what he was driving the lap before. And you see it in the lap times as well. Enter has got a 320.5, 321.8, 324.7, 325.2, 323.2. So nearly the same. 320.2, 322.6, 322.8, 324.8, 324.1. Exercity has got the same issue. 320.5, 322.4, 324.5, 326.2, 323.7. Vulcan has got the same issue. So in case of battery management, all of them are changing within 1 or 2 seconds per lap. I see that Philo has got counter steer assist on. That is that is very interesting for a D-Sting driver. Slim has got the best battery management of all, and he should be closing in the Philo quite quickly, since he could go, looks like 3 seconds faster. Philo has got a lot of issues. The gears are very close to each other. Is he driving with a controller? Because I used to think that Philo was driving with a wheel, but the way he took the last chicane looked very interesting, and actually very surprised right now that he's got the counter steering assist on, but Hilo is patched. Okay. Eddie was in the pits. He is trying to fight back, but it looks horribly currently for the DLL hypercar. Sonic Marathon is now in the pits. He could have gone for one more lap, but he decided to go into the pits now because his tire management is incredibly high compared to the tire management from all the others. But this brings us to the point that we see Stick leading still in the LMGT3 class. 6.2 seconds to Gammeltoast. The W's are Porsche, but Stick looks like he will have to enter the pits in this lap. Gammeltoast could be able to continue for 1 or 2 laps. Alan Birch has got 26.5 seconds to Gammeltoast. Lap time wise, he's closing in, he's losing, he's closing in, he's losing. So it's like he would be managing battery. But he is trying to save some fuel. Welch great. Once again ahead of Kev, who also has got a time penalty. He's got a little bit less than Kev. Kyle was 10 seconds behind them. Sonic Marathon came out of the pits 11.5 seconds behind Kyle. And is 5 seconds ahead of Graham in the Spider GT BMW. Ento now is in the pits. Joe goes past, he stays out. City stays out as well. He is now back in P2. Vulcan is in the pits as well. Hilo stays out because he fueled his car up early to complete. And Slim is closing in, and that's what I meant. His battery management has been the best so far. And he is closing in on Philo right now. As you can see, Slim has driven a 322.2. Meanwhile, Philo a 325.1. Already lost 1 second compared to his personal best in Sector 1. And Slim is catching. Good day, John. Nice to see you here. Nürburgring Fascination, welcome to the chat. You are streaming the second stint so far. How's the lobby on your side? For the second stint, the second split. You can also write it down in German, otherwise I couldn't translate it to all of the people. Ento is out of the pits and 26.5 seconds behind Slim, who still has a little bit less than half a fuel tank in his car, and battery wise is doing the best probably. Below a 1 second penalty. He will lose even more time compared to Slim. Joe now into the pits. Stick was in the pits as well, as I mentioned. Callum Birch 27.5 seconds to Gammeltus and a 1 second penalty, or half a second penalty as well. The Stick didn't change tires, he just refueled. His tires look okay. I understand the idea behind that. I understand the idea, but is it going to be successful? We will have to wait and see. Joe and Accessity are now in the pits. Ento out of the Porsche curves, now into the double chicane. Joe comes out of the pits and Ento is ahead by 1.5 seconds. So Joe was able to gain a little bit of time. That's going to be interesting for the fight for P1. Meanwhile, below another 1 second penalty and Slim is closing in. Battery wise, he is doing the best job so far. Slim pulls out. And these are probably the first kilometers in P1 for the GT Finland Racers team. Slim leads the race. They are on a different strategy, Kilo and Slim, compared to what Ento, Joe, Sasity, Vulcan and Eddie are doing. But battery-wise, Slim has been doing the best compared to everyone. His lap times are very solid, and he is going to gain a lot of time compared to everyone else. Ento had a half a second penalty, Joe had a half a second penalty. They are fighting for provisional P1, I could say. But look at the gap that Slim is creating. F has got damage. Good call. Complete front of the car is damaged. Half a second penalty. The pit stop wouldn't have been away that far, so it looks like he is able to stay within the strategy. Callum Birch now leading the GT class provisionally. Looks great in P2. Stay currently in P10, which is P3 in the GT class. Has been in the pits but hasn't changed his tires. 2.8 seconds. Lost. Maybe there was a mistake. Maybe there was a... But I personally don't think that staying on the same tire compound was the right idea. It was a risk, I know. Kevin now goes into the pits to get his damage fixed. Marathon trying to find his way into the race again. Graham still P8. There we can see as Pekka rides at Ento against Joe for provisional A1. Joe is driving the currently leading hypercar points-wise in this series. They are currently leading the Constructors' Championship. F came out nearly 45 seconds ahead behind of Graham. And Slim still having very solid battery management. The consistency is really amazing. Yeah, I could do this as well, Peckham, no worries. Just wanted to get some Auger stuff done. Because I'm managing most of these things while the race is happening. That's why I maybe talk less, yeah? But we can see that Joe sometimes catches up, loses, catches up, loses. Sooner or later, this will be very interesting. Because Joe seems to have the better pace, considering Ento was leading throughout the race mainly. Slim, again, a 3:22.9. If you look at the lap times on the right hand side, this pace is really amazing. The battery management he has, he's playing the long game, and as you can see, Slim is doing a really great job, I must say. Oh, did some Auger stuff, and I completely missed that Joe overtook Ento. Can somebody tell me what happened? I can flip this stuff as well. Wait, no, I didn't want to press that button. Don't want to miss this, otherwise it would be a Lance Stroll moment. Slip on the middle zone, enter quarter GT3 in a second chicane, and Anto is ahead again. Slim is doing Slim things. Philo is trying his best to stay behind him. It looks like that I can turn off the timer because the timer is shown here. Let me go slowly through the grid. So Slim is leading. His battery management is still on point. He has got nearly 10 seconds to Philo, who has got a half a second penalty, and a little bit less than 23 seconds to Ento, which Ento seems to be closing in due to whatever reason. I guess it's the battery. Ento has got 32.2 seconds to Slim. Joe of the Fire is within 1 second, so he ends up with 33 seconds to Slim. And 6.2 seconds behind him is Xercity, driving for Capital as well. WSR Vulcan is 42.6 seconds behind the leader, and 3.4 seconds behind Xercity, and nearly 18 seconds with the time penalty is SIL Eddie driving for the DLL hypercar. He's got a 1 minute gap to RX Slim, who's leading. Now goes past WSR Porsche. Has Stick ahead of him, which indicates that there is something happening, and as well there's a battle between Ento and Joe, so it's quite hard to go through the grid. There's Callum Birch, the currently leading GT3 car. And Ento is doing his best to somehow defend against Joe. Battery-wise, they're both without any battery on the road. Jonah pulls out and takes P3 again. Nailed that in the corner. And there's the battery working for Joe, who now pulls away by miles. But that's the battery that Ento didn't use, so he could close the gap sooner or later. That will be interesting now indeed. Maybe let us take the chance to show the GT3 grid. It's Callum pointing the left indicator and showing Vulcan, hey, you can pass me on the inside, I'll try to stay on the outside. Spontaneous decision, but they did a pretty good job regarding that lapping. Vulcan isn't losing any time, Callum Birch isn't losing any time as well. They both continue their race, and nearly 26 seconds behind is Welsh Grade for the BNT Pantera Racing Corvette. A little bit less than 9 seconds behind is Stick. A little bit more than 2 seconds behind is Gamiltos, who has been closing in as well again. Yeah, mainly because I would say it's the tire decision that Stick made. Maybe it was indeed planned, maybe not. A misclick happens quite quickly. Either way, Kyle is 10 seconds behind Gamiltos, the Spider GT leader in the Lexus. Sonic Marathon is finding his way back into the race, closing in on the other Lexus. The Nova Motorsport driver really surprising us here. Which Great is now in the pits, we will take a look at that in a second. Graham, the Spider GT BMW, is 18 seconds behind his team leader, who is in the pits as well. So Wilchgate and Kyle are in the pits now. Graham stays out, and Kev, who had a penalty, a crash, regarding whatever incident. I just hope that there was no one else involved in this situation. He's driving his Lamborghini through the Porsche curves now. And he should be able to close in the gap he has to the cars ahead of him. But I don't think that we will see a battle in the 1 hour and 15 minutes left in this stint. Yeah, Slim is still pulling away from Elo, who has got a 1 second penalty as well. And Joe seems to be pulling away. Brown Potato says Joe is simply goated. From what I've heard, I'd agree. From what I have heard, I would agree. An interesting fact that I just saw is that Cersei has got 11,300 kilometers on his hypercar. He's been using that quite often. Vulcan has got 21,000. 8,600. Ellen Burge got a 1 second penalty, 35 seconds to stick. And Camel Toast is closing. There's the most surprising car in the grid currently, in my opinion. It's the Nova Motorsports, or Nova Esports, or Nova Marathon, I should say. Sonic is P4 in class, that's true. And Camel Toast is closing in on stick. Let me quickly go through the grid. So it's going to be counted as 3 minutes instead of 3 hours. Yeah, that's what I thought. That he didn't do it on purpose, but he just misclicked it, and the pit stop itself already cost you a lot of time. The best to manage this thing is just to drive safely and the best as possible. He's doing a solid job though. With these worn tires, I don't know if I would be able to keep this pace up. Nice drift from Kev. Going into the burn penalty zone. Right behind him is Welsh Great, who could be closing in into the Porsche cars. But I don't think that this will be enough. I think Kev will stay ahead. And that by 4. Even though 6/10 aren't that far. A little bit of oversteer. But either way, just to remind everyone that this is an endurance race, stuff like this happens. Either way, it's the crash from, or possible crash from Eddie at the beginning of the race. Either it's misclicking or miscommunication with the pit stops, with the pit crew, and leaving the tire change out. Stuff like this happens. We still have 20 hours of racing left. Should I say 20? Maybe 19. 19 maybe is better. So we're only driving 21 hours instead of 24. But either way, Gamble Toast now pulls out of the slipstream, goes next. with the car off stick. But is he able to overtake? It looks like the M6 has got a lot of top speed in the car. And stick stays ahead. Hamilton's now again in the slipstream. He will try to overtake once more. Pulls over slipstream, goes for the inside line. Stick will stay on the outside, goes behind Gammeltoast. And Gammeltoast is now back in P2. Because Kallenberg is leading the G so far. What lap does the race end for GT? Even though I'm driving the next stint for my team, I must say that I don't really know the question. Well, I cannot answer because I slightly don't know. But that's what I also think, like 45, maybe even 46. And you show an onboard lap from Ento. I could show you an onboard lap. But I will do it when they will go into the start-finish straight, so I can show you one lead lap of Le Mans. Maybe even explain some stuff on the track as well. Which corners are tricky, which is the important part of maybe being cautious about on this track. What are the main points? Slim has got 18 seconds to Philo. What the f... But there's one thing I expected, and that was that the hypercars are going to be very close to each other, and that 1.6 battery will probably be the best one. But having 18 seconds to P2 and still having battery left after nearly 2 hours of racing, that's incredible. Yeah, and I can also show you which car we'll be driving. It's this one. I'm gonna drive this beauty into a complete jury. I'm also driving next for GT. I think that will be very interesting indeed. We might battle in Stint 2. I do hope so. I do hope so. I do hope so, but I hope that the Stint change is going to be fluent because all the gaps have to be entered. I have to open the lobby as well. Just the second Stint. Need to eat something. Quickly have to go pee as well. I hope that the Auger stuff is going to be less in the next couple of races, but it's a 24-hour race. A lot happening in the back, and I don't think that I've mentioned it enough in the past, but all the work that has been put in from all the others that did it in the past, Charles, Confi, Nushel, that's a kind of special mentioning. I think that most of the Auger parts are just needed to being done, and it would have been all easier if more people kind of would get involved in simple Auger stuff. But I think that for the next races, as of Tsukuba, 9 hours on the 10th August, we will have Nordschleife 24-hour race at beginning of October, if I remember correctly. We will have a Lagos race as well. Fuji is waiting in October as well. Then there's Dragon Trail Seaside in November, and another 24-hour race, which will be Daytona in December. I do hope the more people will get involved in Orga, but let's see. Eddie's in the pits, he's got damage, he's refueling. The Lagos would be a good one. For Interlagos, I could say that, in my opinion, there was one livery, probably my most favorite one, that has been driven there. And that's where everything started for this guy, because he's been driving that livery on the Porsche. That livery is also on the graphic of our race calendar, but I could show you that one somewhere else when it's better. Either way, Rob, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good time and enjoy everything that is around that stream. He's out of the pits. Stint Philo out of the pits. Slim as well. Slim has got 21.5 seconds to Philo. They have the same amount of fuel and Slim still has battery left in his car. Wow. I can't say differently, it's just amazing. The Slim now has a gap of 51.7, or let's say 8 seconds to all the others. And I would say that you are losing around about 1 minute in the pit stop. But I do think that with 1/4 of a fuel tank left and meeting the fact that there's 1 hour less in the race, I do think that Joe, Ento, Xacity, Vulcan, that those 4 are going to be in the pits maybe even for not 1 minute, maybe for, let's say, 40-45 seconds. But I do think that Slim is still able to close in heavily. Best part of everything is that I could just say, we'll wait and see. That's the only thing I could say. Either way, Callum was in the pits, refueled completely. Stick was in the pits as well. He refueled completely, has got new tires, and has got 20 seconds to Callum. Hamilton's the only one who's now staying on the strategy that Stick and he started. No time penalty for him, even though it looked very, very close. Gain 1. But from what I can say is that Sonic Marathon is closing in. 15 seconds to Gamiltos. It's going to be very interesting what happens at the end of the stint, because I think that Stick is able to finish this stint with the fuel and tires he has. I do think that Callum will finish this stint on these tires and on the fuel he has. There's a hypercar approaching. This is Necessity. And I do think that this lapping will also go through without any issues. There we go. Kev now in P12 in this lobby has got a half a second penalty, and World Straight is behind him, who was in the pits as well. Has got way more fuel than Kev, but Kev, looking at the fuel amount he has in a car, he will need to pit one more time. Kyle is in P14, he's got a 1.5 second penalty. He will have to go into the pits maybe once again. Graham could finish this stint. The amount of fuel is left. Same as Stick and Birch. Who has pinged me on Discord? I wouldn't say that it's our job. So you as a driver are needed. So you as a driver, you just fill in the gap. Basically, let me explain it another way. This race finishes, or this stint finishes. All the gaps are reported. Timekeepers fill in the gaps into the document to sort who is getting relegated into Lobby B, who is promoted from Lobby B to Lobby A. And after that, the grid goes out to all the drivers. They go either into Lobby A or Lobby B. The race restarts, or the stint starts at 5:30 p.m. CEST. That would be in 1.5 hours on your side, whatever time it would be. The only instruction that you need to know from us is you give us the gap, and we tell you later on in which lobby you have to go. If that explains it simplest way. Slim is closing in a little bit. Joe now is pushing the hell out of the hypercar. Yeah, I know it's hard to understand the system sometimes. But once, if you actually understand how the things are going, it's pretty much very easy to understand and very easy to provide everything. Because otherwise, this shouldn't be possible. And in case somebody misses out on gap reporting, they'll just start at the back. That's pretty simple. Have I already mentioned that we have an ongoing livery contest where you can vote for your favorite liveries of the race? You can do it. For the hypercar and for the GT class, you can vote up to 4 different liveries that you like the most. And as a result, the most liked livery will win the end. Meanwhile,
zuhört und uns mal Lichthupe macht.
we could once again go and look into the screen, see what happens in the other lobby as well.
Also, Clemson in der Box, das könnte
With a little bit of graphic that we could figure out is that we can see Blaze Tim is currently leading in lobby 2, Myers main forever driving for Don is in P.
Ja, kenne ich.
I'm not sure, it's up to 4 liveries, because you can also vote for only 3 or 2 if you don't like the rest, you know.
Also, wenn irgendjemand im Stream weiß, dass jemand Lichthupe macht, einfach mal reinschreiben, aus Spaß und just for fun.
It's not.
Dass wir das hinbekommen. Also, Hypercar und Animal die 3. Genau, das sind die.
Then something never was. It never was.
Schön hatten schon dabei.
Yep.
It's horrible. Either way, what I wanted to say is Blaze Tim, the Spider GT Hypercar leads currently in lobby 2. In lobby B, Myers main forever, the Don Hypercar is in P2. Brumadinho is in 3. Ruse is 4th. Clemson is 5th. Atze Wiesel is 6th. And then we start with the GT cars. Knight Rider in first place, Sampa is 2nd. There were some pit stops, so this could change again as well. We need to wait and see what happens. We cannot see for now. Either way, let me just come back to the split screen. That's maybe the best, as we then see everything. Romadinho and Myers main forever are currently fighting for P2, it looks like.
Ja, hier ist auch ein schöner Kampf, auf jeden Fall. Nee, der Brunodino war schon die ganze Zeit davor, wegen dem Boxstopp. Myers macht jetzt Druck. Myers main forever. Da läuft es auf jeden Fall immer. Jetzt habe ich ein anderes. Achso.
Looks like Wolf's great and have I again fighting against each other?
Die ganze Zeit, wenn ich Big Mac sage, denke ich immer ans Essen. Krone heißt Brian.
Where is the leading
Ja, ich
Porsche
auch.
in GT?
Krone
I mean,
heißt
Gammeltoast. Gammeltoast is closing in on to the second Mosan chicane.
Ja. Okay, gut. Sehr stark,
Ob man
Marius.
darüber hier reinsubbt oder ob man das generell hat.
Mir ist gerade aufgefallen, Meyers ist vorbeigezogen von lauter Reden. Ja, Pit 2, damit Meyers Main Forever. Ja, das ist...
Clemson jetzt noch eine halbe Sekunde und wir sind jetzt noch mal näher rangekommen.
Aber Clemson kommt näher ran, der hat jetzt einen besseren Ausgang gehabt. Gibt es da jetzt in der Kurve noch ein Überholmanöver?
Oh!
Wird die Position verlieren gegen Wiesel.
Nicht Clemson, ich meine Punanine ist der an Main dran kommt. Ja, genau, so hier ist das Überholmanöver. Danke nochmal. Wiesel ist damit vorbei.
Schaden und Strafe haben ihm nicht geholfen. Kann es sein, dass er wieder in der Internetbox aufgeflogen ist? Oder ist so alle guten Dinge zu passen?
Ja, auf jeden Fall. Da gebe ich dir vollkommen. Rosie kommt dran, schreit jemand. Achso, das ist der Kaisi. Gute Kaisi. Ja, er kommt näher ran, aber ich glaube noch nicht, dass es reicht. Das dauert noch ein bisschen.
Das in der letzten Runde 2 bzw. 3 Sekunden gut gemacht auf die beiden da vorne. Jetzt hat Ronaldinho auch noch eine halbe Sekunde Strafe. Da sind natürlich die Reifen auch ein bisschen rot. Vergleich zu den anderen beiden, vor allem weil es in der Box waren. Ich muss sagen, Meyers May Forever kann vielleicht durchfahren. Ist Tim 17 Sekunden vorne, der muss noch mal an die Box. Die andere Sache ist, wenn Meyers May Forever nicht durchfahren kann, hat er vielleicht so viel mehr Sprit, als er beim Nachgefühl ist.
Willkommen zurück. Sehr schön. Das freut mich zu wissen. Falls du das für den Stream wissen möchtest, wir sind ja knapp, sag mal, 10 Sekunden hinter euch. Joe Runde 38 jetzt in Indianapolis. Ansonsten, Joe führt aktuell das Feld an. Slim hat sich bislang mit Batterie am besten geschlagen. Greift jetzt aber tatsächlich ein bisschen ins Klo, weil der Vorteil der Batterie jetzt verspielt ist. Ansonsten, ja, das sowieso. Also ich habe euren Stream die ganze Zeit nebenbei offen, weil ich zwischendurch beide Ansichten einblende. Das geht schon ordentlich zwischen allen. Und aktuell würde ich sagen, Gammeltoast führt das Rennen an. Es könnte sich aber noch ändern, weil der Abstand zwischen Callum Birch und Gammeltoast bei knapp 50 Sekunden liegt. Sagen wir 52. Du verlierst bei einem Boxenstopp knapp eine Minute. Gammeltoast wird aber nicht eine Minute in der Box stehen. Das könnte noch sehr, sehr interessant werden zwischen Gammeltoast, Sonic Marathon, Callum Birch und vor allem auch Stick at Home. Kev wird auch noch mal rein müssen. Der wird leider raus sein, was die Führungsetage angeht. Aber ich glaube auch Welch Great könnte noch mal irgendwo anklopfen. Ja. Let me maybe switch to English because there's something important I have to call in. Encho and Vulcan are now in the pits. Desert and Joe are going for another lap. Slim will stay out as well, and that's the question to all of you. Looking at the fuel management that Slim has. Right in theory. Would Slim be in front if Joe and Xerxity hit? And the second question is, will he be able to finish this stint with the fuel management he has now? Because honestly, I do think that this is possible. Johnny, it's good that you only took Spanish and French classes, because if I would ask a different question now, might not be able to move for a couple of times. And in a minute and a half a tank is what I've done. So it seems possible. Okay, that's good to know. It's doable. And now there's a time penalty. Joe is nearly 18 seconds out of necessity. Ento out of the pits has refueled to, let's say, 75%. No, it's not 70. Maybe it's 60. Maybe it's 60. Fido has got a 1 second penalty, and now, yeah, pushes himself through against Gammeltoes. That was lucky. Got a time penalty there. We'll see. We'll see, Pod. Because Slim has been doing a very, very incredible stint. Why is the AI of Michael Heisel driving? I'd like to know as well. Andrew. WSR Hypercar goes past Gammeltoes. Haters. Vulcan has a half a second penalty. Philo has got a 2 second penalty. So that's something for the Guinness Book of Records. How many penalties has Philo collected over the whole race? 3 second penalty. What is happening, Philo? Honestly, I'm not used to this. Joe in the pits, Xerxity in the pits as well. So now it's gonna be interesting. Will Slim be ahead? This is getting too much on Philo. Goji. Danke für die 300 Bits. Danke. Damit dürftest du jetzt der Erste sein, der überhaupt Bits gespendet hat, glaube ich. Ah, der Alert ging durch. Der Alert ging durch. Die Alerts sind gefixt. Der Alert ging durch. And there we go. Slim leads The 24-hour race of Le Mans. Nearly 13 seconds ahead of Joe after he came out of the pits. Ento back in P3. Cersei back in P4, 12.3 seconds behind Ento. Hilly, thank you as well for the 100 bits. Big Mac gifts 2 subscriptions to the community. Now it's happening. Arcatillo, I'd like to know who this is. But it's good to see that KC got a KC got a subscription gifted. The interesting thing is that the bits came through. Big Max gifted sub Stint. God damn it. I'll have to figure out something because that's just annoying. Big Mac gifts another subscription to Poctavian. Okay, now stuff is happening. We're not focusing on the race, we're focusing on donations gifted and stuff. No, guys, I'm kidding. I have to take a look in this. I mean, it should work. Why isn't it working? Maybe I'll try this. Joe is already catching up to Slim, who's been drifting through the Porsche corners. That looked great. How is Nova doing? There you go. 4.4 seconds behind Stick, 7.7 seconds ahead of Kev. Both are pretty even fuel-wise. Everybody needs to buy a Big Mac for Big Mac. Rather go with a Whopper. Because I'm gonna whoop it. No, I'm not gonna say it. Oh man, I gotta stop the big jokes. Upper. Double Toast is in the pits. Big Mac gifts another subscription to Tomsoft this time. Sound alerts have been played. But it doesn't look like they will be played. I really need to figure out what this is. Some alerts are coming through, some are not. Hamilton now comes out of the pits and is around about 10 seconds behind Callum Birch, and Stigger's closing in as well. This could be another 10 seconds roundabout as well. It's 7.8. So Callum Birch is leading now the GT3 class. The Lamborghini is saving fuel in a very solid way. I would have expected that from the Lamborghini, from the Lexus, but I'm shown differently. I think that Gammeltus will now be closing in on Callum Birch. Both are the same level of fuel, but I do think that Gammeltus could be closing in with the better tires he has now. Yeah. Sonic Marathon, 4.2 seconds behind Stick, now has got a time penalty, and that oversteer moment looked like he will get another one. No, he isn't. Interesting. So he will still have to serve 1 second penalty. The Welsh Great 9.7 seconds behind Sonic Marathon. I do think they could go into the pits again. Kyle, half a second penalty, 44.9 seconds behind Welsh. Graham is 10 seconds behind Kyle, and WSR Kev is 8 seconds behind Graham, but he could also close in to P7. Slim is leading, and he is able to keep the distance. Joe is not able to close the gap to Slim. Who would have thought of that? That's possibly one of the biggest comebacks during a stint that I've seen. Slim has to wait because he has a GT3 car ahead of him. That's costing him a lot of time, but he is waiting patiently. He is waiting for his chance to go by safely, and that's something I have to appreciate and mention a lot. Whatever this guy is earning for his race, give him a race. That was very interesting play of words, even if I didn't want to. Wow. expected him to retry the final chicane in reverse, when it didn't happen. Yeah. As I thought, Gallum Birch is losing to Gammeltoast. Do you have enough channel points to actually mute the streamer? Well, it's 10,000, so it's alright. It's actually possible to do so. Okay, Big Mac, are you ready for some Polish commentary? Maybe that's... Oh, Kyle has damage. Kyle has damage. Let's do it this way. Big Mac, if you press the mute the streamer button, I won't say anything. But if you show me some other way of channel point, maybe highlight my message, show a specific driver, whatever, I'll start speaking Polish. If you mute the stream, I'm not able to say anything during the whole 30 minutes that are now up. 15,700. Alright, if you do so, you do. Then I will show you everything, but maybe I'll even leave the stream. 40k. 70,542. Oops. I wonder if there's somebody who has actually more channel points than I have. He's thinking, what should he do? Does he want to see Polish commentary or not? Volker nearly lost his car going into Indianapolis. Eli has got a half a second penalty. These two are battling for P5. No, to pokazałem wam wszystkie samochody, które są na torze. Możecie zobaczyć wszystkie różne obrazy, wszystkie naklejki i zdecydować się, które wam się najbardziej podoba. Wysłałem dwa linki, jedno na Hypercar, jedno na LMGT3. Jeszcze raz wam tu wchodzę, rzucę wam jako wiadomość do... Kurwa, 2 razy wrzuciłem, ja pierdzielę. No możecie zobaczyć w tym, co wam najbardziej się podoba, co nie. A więc tak. RX Slim prowadzi wyścig. 7 sekund przed Joe, który jeździ w drużynie Team Capital. On ma 10 sekund do Ento, który prowadzi bolid SVV. To ma 17 sekund do RX Slim i tyle samo do Xercity, który jest na 4. miejscu. Vulcan na 5. miejscu ma 7 sekund do Xercity. Distinct Filo ma 3,5 sekund do Vulcan. Eddie z drużyny LL ma prawie 24 sekund do Filo i Kares pół sekundy. Teraz brzmi w ścinie. A więc tak, Kalenberg prowadzi samochód Lamborghini LMGT3, prowadzi wyścig, jest aktualnie na 1. miejscu. 9 sekund przed Gameltoast w Porsche. Poza nim jest Sonic Marathon, który ma prawie 14 sekund. Stick stracił miejsce, stracił 6 sekund w tym okrążeniu i stracił pozycję do Sonic Marathon, a więc DLL BMK na 4. miejscu. Welsh Great Corvette od VNT Panthera W 5. miejscu Graham, w następnym BMW F. I Kyle jest na 8. miejscu. Tyle tu różnych o, że ja nawet nie rozumiem, o co tu chodzi. Now let us get back to maybe some serious stuff. I've given you enough of Polish session. Ich deutsche Kartoffeltop. Witamy w McDonaldzie, poproszenie o zamówienie. No. Slim still leading. One second penalty, 8.5 seconds ahead of Joe. And so trying to close in on Joe as well. Yellow flag. Someone. Well, that was a very interesting place for Kyle. I think he made a mistake there. Quite a shocker moment there. Either way, let's quickly go to the field. Slim again on 7 seconds to Joe. Ah, you've destroyed my command center. Ah well, I always hated my commanders anyway. Okay, okay, I will work. At some point, we need to do command and conquer livery. At some point, we will have to do this. One is going to drive Dr. Thrax, the other one is going to drive General Towns, the other one is going to drive General Quai or whatever. Monaco sound alerts. Wait, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I have to take a look at that. I don't mind about the race. It's nearly over. Elo is in the pits. Oh, he has got damage. Elo has got damage. No, 7. Oh my goodness. That is actually not the greatest case of Philo. New tires, damage repaired, and now back on track. I am deeply disappointed by sound alerts because they don't have any command and conquer voice lines. That means okay, I will work. My disappointment is immeasurable. My day is ruined. I will do what I am told. $18 left. And Joe is closing in. It's maybe 5, maybe even 6 laps left. Joe is closing in on Slim. Purple. Purple. Joe is flying. Slim is doing his best. Somehow stay ahead. Oggi fährt erst in 7. Wenn ich richtig liege. Kann ja sein, dass sich das wieder geändert hat. So, Joe was closing in the lap to, or the gap to Slim was by 4 seconds. Now it's 5.5. So 15 minutes left, and my god, after 3 hours, nearly 3 hours of race, they are nearly 6 seconds away. Could I please show the lead of the GTs? Here you go. Ellen Birch is currently leading with 8.5 seconds to Gammeltros, who has 16.6 seconds to Stick, because Sonic Marathon I'm looking at the lap times, and where? Huh? Where did Sonic Marathon had the mistake so that Stick went past him again? Welch Great is 6 seconds behind. Graham is nearly 1 minute behind. Then there's Kev, and then there is Kyle, who has got damage again, and I probably think this means that the Spider GT Lexus will be relegated to Lobby 2. Oh. Probably. Why does this remind me of something? On Atlanta wise. "11 minutes left. The gap between Eric Slim and Joe is 5 seconds. Depends on what the gaps will be. I think Kyle is the most impacted driver to maybe get relegated to lobby B. Andres Anto's waiting patiently to lap AGT car. Vulcan is driving in a very drifty style out of the corner. That was Good car management. Car control. Callum Birch is losing time. Kilometers. I think ALMH will go down a lobby. It's pretty hard to say. Wait, let me take a look. So Philo is here. Ruse is. Oh. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that either Miles Main Forever or Ruse are going to be promoted this time. Because if I look at the stream, I have a 20-second, or let's say 50-second delay. And Distinct Philo is the Porsche curves, while Miles Main Forever accelerates out of Indy, and Ruse is 4 seconds ahead. And as I said, I have a 15-second delay. I don't think that Philo, or one of the hypercars, is going to be relegated. I don't think so. For GT, I don't know, but I do think that Kyle's car will go to lobby 2, and that the RC Lambo is going to be promoted into lobby A this time. Kyle has spun again, and what has happened with Eric Slim? Wait, what has happened there? We now have a battle against Slim and Joe for the lead. They pretty much said what lobby 2 can do, we can do better. Joe goes for the inside, Slim gives him a little bump at the rear. What has happened here? Joe takes the lead of the 24-hour race at Le Mans. Looks like he stays ahead. We see that Joe already was very close to Slim. Oh my god, what a move! Kyle just simply staying there. He's just there. Please go through. I don't want to do anything with you. Just go. Wow. So Slim caught the car into Indianapolis. That's the only mistake he had after such a solid stint. Caught the car, didn't impact into the wall, drifted through Indianapolis, and sadly lost the position now to Joe. But what the hell? In case anyone wants to clip this, just go ahead. Reminds me of an Aston Martin and Road Atlanta. Jesus, Johnny, I hate you. I mean, the Aston Martin was drifting better there, but oh man. I'd say that maybe the last lap stick has damage. Stick has damage, still in P3 for the time being. There's a Lamborghini drifting through the exit of Porsche corners. But Gammeltoast is closing in on Callum Birch. He's got 4.2 and way better tire wear. Close to a penalty for Callum. Close to a penalty for Gammeltoast as well. Philo is in P7. Eddie is in P6. He will finish as well. He has got rear tire issues out of hell. But it looks like everyone kind of has issues. Joe has got best tire management, I would say. Slim is very close to him as well. Enter has got very solid tire management too, but more we're at the rear left. Or we're at the rear left. Jesus. Celsity's tire management is pretty solid as well. Vulcan's is okay. Eddie's left rear tire is gone. Philo was freshly in the pits, so that doesn't count for the statistics. And Gammeltoast is closing in, and after 3 hours having a gap of 3.5 seconds to each other, that's pretty much incredible. Stick now is being chased by Sonic Marathon. And I do think that Sonic Marathon will get past Stick as well. And Sonic Marathon goes past Stick. There's a hypercar approaching. This is Eddie. Let's hope that the lapping will go easily here as well. Eddie jumps through. Looks great also as a lapping. 20 seconds left in the race. Who's going to be the first one who gets the checkered flag? I don't think that Kyle is going to be the one. He drifts out of the last corner. And Stick was the first one. No, Sonic was the first one to get the checkered flag. Stick is the second one. So Sonic Marathon finishes in P3, Stick in P4, Welsh Great in P5. Graham is going to finish probably in P6, Kev in 7th, and Kyle definitely is going to finish in P8 after messing up an early end to his stint. I don't know if it should do this as Olga. Joe will probably win this stint. He's got 4 seconds to Slim, who also has got a half-second penalty. But honestly, I think the winner of our hearts in this stint is Slim. Joe has been driving very consistently and very strongly throughout the race, throughout the first stint. Slim, strategy-wise, what a comeback. Ento is gonna gather himself P3, around about 20 seconds of a gap to Joe. So that's gonna be interesting. Capital against Scuderia Vedo Velocita. Necessity will be 4th. Vulcan will be 5th. Eddie will be 6th. And I don't think that he will finish his lap. Philo is going to be 7th. And I don't think he will be relegated into Lobby B. And there is Callum Birch, where I do not think that he will see the checkered flag as well. Graham, as I said, finishes 5th. 5th? No, it's 6th. Kev 7th and Kyle, as I said, 8th. And there you go. Joe wins for Capital in the first stint. Slim is going to be P2, so GT Finland races will start in P2 into the next stint. Ento for Scuderia Velocita will finish in P3, now even having a 21 second gap, 21 and a half. Maybe for all of the people that are gathering the gaps. Eric Slim 6.062. Ento 21.589. Xercity 36.346. I don't know, Vulcan, Distinct Feeder 128. Sonic Marathon 24.59. Stickers 25.01. World is 25.15. Graham is 26.11. Kev is 26.20. Kyle is going to be 28.50. And the rest I don't know. Either way, congratulations to Super Mario. I will show the results here as well. One screenshot. Second screenshot. Save the replay. And this should be done by all the others. Either way. Guys, I will end the stream quickly here. You can stay on the channel. Next stream is going to load up in 20 minutes. Next stream is going to start in 25 minutes. So, stay with us. We're going to see a lot of racing action in the next couple of minutes. Gaps are being entered. And, yeah. See you in a minute.